Tyler, can you hear me?
Yeah. Hi,
Yes.
guys.
How are you doing? I like this. This is looking. Where are you doing right now? Where are you? Well, don't dox yourself, but you're wandering
Yeah.
around LA. Is that correct?
Well, I have a story for you. I tested positive for COVID today, and I feel absolutely horrible.
Oh,
And I forgot uh, to tell you. I've got my kids on a walk right now. Uh, it's a perfect storm of COVID fog brain right now, but I'm okay. I have a lot of symptoms. I feel like butts, but I'm here for you, Claire.
Thank you. Oh
I'm
my.
walking with my kids. Yeah.
Thank you very much. I can't believe when I had COVID in March, I couldn't even leave my bed. So you're doing really well. So well done.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. I hope you're feeling okay. We will keep it as brief as
I'm
we
okay.
can.
I'm gonna get to a quiet place in about 2 minutes here. My
Also,
daughter was like, "Hey, Daddy, it's 1:30." Just randomly, she's like, "It's 1:30," and I was like, "Oh my gosh, I have to be on this podcast at 1:30."
can I
The
pay
time
your
change
daughter
messed me
to
up.
be my PA because she sounds fantastic. Oh my god. She sounds
She's good.
amazing.
She's good.
You're also making me really jealous because I love LA. I'm going to be there for a month in September and I'm really excited. I'm seeing the blue
Oh,
Californian
nice.
sky and I'm very excited to be back in LA. Tyler, we just saw your video, which we're going to talk about very shortly. But let's talk about all the non-music stuff first. Let's get that out of the
Sure.
road right now. Tell us, like, we've seen you in Escape Room and Tucker and Dale versus Evil and all that kind of stuff, but what are you working on at the moment? Let's get all the business out the road before we get to the music.
Yeah. At the moment, and you can hear me okay? Is everything all right?
Yes, I can hear you perfectly.
Okay, good. At the moment, I am on hiatus from New Amsterdam, my show on NBC. We just finished season 4, and the finale is in 2 weeks, I think. And then I'm shooting season 5 beginning in July. And yeah, that's it for like active work. And then I'm developing a feature right now. And I had this is interesting. I don't even know if I can talk about it, but Tucker and Dale, we've been working on some sort of follow up or a sequel for years. And we actually sold a show to TBS, a Tucker and Dale series, an anthology series. And we were developing it and getting ready to go. And we had all the deal on the table and the numbers. And then TBS just decided that they're not making TV anymore. So the development just went, yeah, they just went belly up basically. TNT, TBS, and CNN Plus all got defunct. They're no longer
Oh.
making scripted TV. So development went down the drain.
God, like I tell you, I wanted to ask you this because like so many times I've got so close to getting something made or being put into something that whatever. And see, television, it's a pain in the bum. Would you agree with that? It's a total pain in the bum to get anything done. So annoying.
Absolute pain in the bum. Yeah. Oh my gosh, I've sold pilots and I've had multiple things in development, and it's like it's so hard, even from the point of like you could have a pilot sold in the room, which was what Tucker and Dale was, and then something like this happens. It's like force majeure. You can never bank on anything in this town. That's basically in this industry. So and I just found that out like last week after a long time in development, and I just and then everyone's like, "Oh, let's move on." I'm crushed, man. I'm a little crushed. I think I'm allowed to be crushed for a while.
That's what I was gonna
But
ask.
everyone's like, "Yeah, no, don't worry about it. That's the business." I'm like, well, fuck this business.
I know. That's what I was gonna ask you because like I think like a lot of the business is always rejection or a lot of no's. But and somebody asked me this: do you get used to it? And I was like, no, I hate it. Do you ever get used to it, or what about you?
I love that question. It's like, get used to what? Get used to feeling terrible?
Yeah, I know.
Get used to people putting you down and hurting your feelings constantly and building up your expectations and then just shattering them on the rocks? No, you don't get used to that. I think you get better at like understanding that it's a game of numbers. There's a percentage, like for all like 95% of all the baloney you have to put up with, there's like the 5% that's awesome. Yeah, exactly. So you do start to trust that like there are more opportunities coming, and that just wasn't the one, but it still hurts,
Yeah, no.
It's like bum. What did you say? It was bum. It's bum. What did you say?
It's a pain in the bum.
Pain in the bum.
I mean, I could have said it's a pain in the arse, but I went polite. I went more polite. I went against my Glaswegian.
I love bum.
I'm
a Canadian, right?
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah, of course. Yeah, you get it. You get it. You get it. In terms of like, the thing is like, why?
Commonwealth, man. I'm Commonwealth all the way.
Exactly. Yeah, Canada. I've got so many Canadian friends. They get it. I love going to Canada because, it's North America, but it feels very, very familiar whenever I go over there. It feels super. Oh, holy shit.
Oh, I lost you there completely.
We're back. Yeah. You're going in and out. You're going in and out of stuff. Can you,
oh man.
Can you flip your phone round? Because we're looking at you in a weird way. There you go. Yeah, that's perfect. Let's just do it like that. What makes you keep going then? Because for me, it is that 1% of the time when it goes well,
Yeah. Well, like right now, I'm sitting in a weird position, right? Like the Tucker and Dale thing got kind of axed, and then my series, New Amsterdam, is doing its last season next season. We got canceled, and we're doing a final season, and it's like, yeah, I feel bad. I feel like I'm worried. I've been working at this thing, 30 plus years, 34 years now, and I still don't trust that I'm, a bankable commodity.
Yeah.
So it's like, yeah, the one thing I think that keeps me going is that it's the same excitement level whenever you do get a gig. When you get something you're excited about, or you audition for something and you walk out of the audition room, whether you got it or not, and you just feel awesome.
Yeah.
Because, you're just like, yeah, I'm walking on air when I feel like I did something creative that felt good.
Yeah.
And then beyond that, if you do book a gig, like that excitement has been the same since I was like 10 years old. That's never changed. And I love going to set. I love being on set. I have tens of thousands of hours more on set, and I still feel the same when I'm on set. So I don't know. It's like, there's this quote I love by Agnes DeMille. And it says, "For the artist, there is no satisfaction, only a queer divine dissatisfaction." And
I love it.
I believe that to be true. There's no like tangible, like, yep, got it. There's always this kind of like, I feel unsatisfied, but like content there. I don't know.
Yeah.
Queer divine dissatisfaction. I love that.
I like that.
Yeah.
I was thinking about this the other day because I was thinking about, with all the experience and the things that I've done, I could probably get a 9 to 5 and get paid very well. But I just the thought of doing a 9 to 5 kills me. Like a normal job. I kind of almost like the fear. Would you agree with that? The fear kind of keeps you going.
If you talk to my therapist, I'm addicted to anxiety, and it's lovely. It's lovely. But I also, at least you have the option of a normal job. I don't even have any other skill sets, man. I can't do anything.
Really? Yeah. And an apocalypse then? What? Okay, so the zombie apocalypse hits. What other skills do you have? You must have other skills.
Let me see. What other skills do I have? Okay, I'm home now. I'm gonna go in the backyard, guys. You can put on the TV.
Yeah, good. Oh, by the way, good multitasking. Good dad duty multitasking, by the way. Like,
Thank you.
Very impressed. Very impressed. Oh, your screen.
All right, is it better if I turn my camera like this now?
Yes, that's it. Yay, we got it. Yeah, it's kind of like a bit, you're freezing a little bit, but maybe it's because it's going back onto Wi-Fi. There we go. So, a zombie apocalypse. I was thinking about this, Tyler, because in a zombie apocalypse, the skills that I have would not be useful. I used to do music PR and stuff. That's not going to be very useful. I do marketing. That's not going to be useful. I can play guitar, so I could be a bard of some sort. So that's
you could be a bard. Yeah, like the only other, I'm gonna go in the kids' room. I'm trying to find somewhere with good Wi-Fi.
That's all right.
The only other skill set that I think that I have that I could maybe do something with is cooking.
Oh, yes.
I'm a chef, but I also, as I've just demonstrated, hopefully, I can sing and I make music, and I've been doing that for a long time. I've been making music for 25 years now, and I could do that, I think. But man, talk about picking one fickle industry over another. Like,
I know.
chef, singer, or actor. Like, you know, those are all
I mean,
difficult fields.
I'm definitely feeling the anxiety in each one of those fields as well. There's a lot of anxiety there. Definitely.
You're an artist too. You sing, right? I mean, you know, I know you're an artist, but you sing and play music as well.
I do, yeah. But when I was younger, I was never in bands or anything. Well, I was when I was younger, when I was 17, 18, when I was at uni. But only recently I started picking it up again because I'm in my late 30s now, and I thought, why not? I'm going to do it again, and released an EP, you know, just for myself. It was very, and
Yeah.
I find music because I want to talk about your single, the track that we watched, because everyone was so surprised. They were watching along and they were chatting, and everyone was going, "Oh my god, this is amazing! People loved it." You know, they didn't know that we'd done it. You know, so I'll show you the transcript later. People were really loving it. But yeah, like I find music's the only way for me to express the innards. You know, because I don't tend to do that. Would you say the same? Is it the only way you express what's really inside, or are you quite an expressive person?
That's a funny question, you know, because like I really, as an actor, I thought for a long time that that was really my main channel, you know, it was my main method of expression. And it can be really cathartic being an actor, you know, you can really put a lot of you on the line if you want, but it's still at the end of the day, unless you've written the material, you're directing it, it's still someone else's shit, right?
Yeah.
So I think, and I also made music for a long time. I you may laugh, but I'm a rapper. I made a lot of hip hop music, and I only recently started writing songs, like real kind of songs that were singer songwriter kind of based, like in the last like 2 3 years. And oh my god, it is so it's so cathartic. It's so expressive, and I'm really in love with it. I didn't realize that like how much more I needed to pour out, you know, until I started like putting it into music. So I think it's like maybe, you know, and there's something about the actual physical act of singing, like unlocking those chakras or whatever, and opening up your pipe and getting it in there or out there. I mean, is like there's something that it does to you physically, like the way you breathe or the way you're you know, forming the words with your mouth or something. It changes, something physically feels like it's being released, you know.
I know, like actually, I've never thought of it like that because I'm not a natural singer. I just do what I can. But sometimes I was playing guitar today and I was writing something because I'm trying to write a new EP with it's got a very specific flavor and theme, and I was sort of not usually I write the lyrics first and then, but the lyrics were kind of just coming out, and there's something that feels. I don't know. I hate describing it because I sound like a wanker, like such a music wanker.
Wank away. Let's wank. Come on.
I've never.
Yeah.
Is that, are you propositioning me?
Yeah, you want to have a group wank right now? Or you should change this to a wee wank instead of
a wee wank. Let's go. You heard it here first. A wee wank. That's gonna get clipped for sure. I mean, what like in terms of moving apart? I've listened to that at least 6 or 7 times now since.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, like it's a really emotive song. You can hear that. Can you talk about what it's about with us?
Yeah, I can. You know, I went through a demic divorce, as I'm calling it, you know, through the pandemic.
Yeah.
And it's I was with my ex-wife for 23 years, since I was 19. And we just grew up together. I didn't oh shoot. Hang on. No. Someone's trying to call me. That's funny.
We got you.
I'm here. So I just sort of grew in a lot of ways that were codependent and didn't really understand how to grow for myself, you know. But all that aside, I was with this person for more than half of my life. And when we ended things, when we decided to get divorced, it just the pain just kept growing to this place, this discomfort, you know, this like feeling of like I just didn't know who I was in the world without this person. Whether that, you know, that's not healthy, that's not a good feeling, but for better or for worse, I felt like I had sort of like cut off a piece of myself, very literally. So I had a dream one night about hacking my arm off, and I was like, well, that's a video for a song right there.
That literally was taken from your dream in that video, right?
Yeah. And I had the song. I had written the song mostly, but then when I got the concept for the dream, when I had the dream for the video concept, I was like, it pushed me to finish everything. I was like, I have a video in mind. I have the song. I want to finish it. I got it mixed and mastered properly. But the idea of the song is that the the dance that you do, with someone for your entire life, and you keep coming back, even if it's not good for you. You keep coming back for that another dance, and then the feeling of the dance finally ending is
Mm.
so sad and bizarre, and it feels like wrong, but you know that it has to end. And the lyrics in the chorus are a little hard to tell, but it says, "Yeah, we're moving, but we're moving apart, and the movement feels like breaking my heart." And it's like, it's true. It's like we're still in a dance. We're like figuring out how to dance in a different way, and we're dancing away from each other. The dance never ends. It just turns into a different sort of dance, and that's sort of where the idea for the song came from.
I love that. Yeah,
Um,
it does. That's very. I think that's a very succinct description of what that is. I think for sure,
yeah.
absolutely for sure. I mean, now that when you were pouring yourself into making the video and also writing the song and making the song, did that help you a little bit? Did it actually help you in terms of like not getting over it, but understanding yourself?
Yeah, absolutely. It I would say both. It did help me. I mean, I'm not over it. Period. I
Mm.
don't know if I don't, a lot of my divorced friends have told me that you never get over it. You just kind of learn to get on with it. Um, but the therapeutic, like I said, cathartic nature of putting those feelings into a song, like into an actual like um channel, a constructive and sort of concise, like you said, a concise little sort of format. It really helped me to feel like I just had somewhere to put it. I
Yeah.
think we have a lot of pain. We don't know where to put it a lot of the time. I can't even imagine if you didn't have a creative outlet as a human being to put your pain in. But like as artists, we have this like never ending sort of wide open channel to dump our bullshit into.
I know.
That's not even bullshit. I shouldn't call it that, but to dump your pain into. So yeah, it really helped me. And I was locked in my apartment in New York while I wrote that song during COVID, and I was away from my kids for like 10 months. And that's why a lot of all the imagery, the cutting off the hand, like I really felt like I was just like I just like I basically just I dismembered myself, mutated myself.
God, I mean,
So it was like, yeah,
you kind of feel that through the sort of music. There is a sort of there's a bit of a sort of ache there's something aching coming through it, and
mhm,
that
mhm,
again, don't want to sound like a music wanker, but like it does, you can feel that, and that's why I think I watched it about 6 or 7 times, because I was like, oh god, feeling this hard, man. I was like, yeah, man, I
yeah.
watched it quite a lot. I know that, and that imagery, now that I know that's from a dream, that's incredible. Literally your brain was
Yeah,
telling you something very literal. Oh my goodness.
yeah,
But
yeah. And then like making the video and doing the those effects and doing the whole thing, like that was all really cathartic too. Like I felt like I was really like very literally directing these feelings somewhere. I was like, I created a visual medium. I got to tell people I wanted to execute it.
mm,
It was the whole thing from top to bottom was really cathartic. And then like, also the video and the song, I should also clarify that like, it's that same thing we're just talking about. There's no satisfaction. There's no feeling like, the idea was that I cut my hand off and it's like, there's a little bit of relief there too. The hand is gone. This thing that's been itching me and driving me nuts in the video, I cut it off. But then it's like, maybe that was hasty. That
yeah.
was a probably could have called a doctor. Maybe could have called a doctor.
Yeah.
Did something other than just try to wash it or ignore it. So there's that feeling of like, uh, yeah, it's just like it's never. There's no way for it to ever just feel good. I have to learn how to live my life without my hand now. It doesn't grow back, but I can still live. I still have my life to live. So
Yeah, you can get on, and I think that
mhm.
that's the sort of hope, I suppose. I mean, have you got any plans to do like any more music? I'm sure, because if you've been making it for so long,
Yeah.
I'm expecting more this year or next year. What have you got planned for that?
Yeah. I have like 3 or 4 other tracks that I'm getting close to finishing. Um, I have a ton of songs that I want to finish, but it's just like, I don't know where I have a hard time finding the time because I really obsess too. Want to get into it. I get really obsessed over the minutia and the details. Because I'm a real fucking artist. And
Yeah.
I really I am a wanker, and I try to I try to really make sure everything is like exactly what I want it to be like when I put it out there. So I've only put out 3 songs, but there are 3 songs that I really like, that are on my Spotify account under Adenak, which is Canada backwards, in case you didn't pick up on that.
Adenak. I didn't. I was just like vibing with the song, man. Wasn't looking at the,
Yeah.
wasn't putting up a little mirror to the thing or anything.
It's all the Easter eggs. They come later. They come later.
In terms of like, you know, music in general, because I don't think a lot of people here watching, I could tell they were shocked when they saw the video. They're like, "Wait, you do that?" Like,
Yeah.
why is it you didn't do it before? Like, I mean, you've been doing it before, but why isn't you weren't putting it out, like really pumping it out? Like, is it just because you're concentrating on all the acting stuff, like, or afraid maybe, or what was it?
Yeah, the easy answer would be that I was too busy and I had, I have 3 children and I have, but it's that I was afraid. Yeah, for sure. I was totally scared shitless of like ever finishing a thing, like as an actor, I I get to wash my hands of a project pretty quickly. Like I put my spin on it, my face is up on screen, but like everybody has a way out in the industry. Like even the director, everybody can like be like, well, it was the script, or the director had a funny idea with that, or the editor cut it funny, or whatever. You can always you can pass the buck a little bit. That's not to say that that's what everyone does all the time, but you can. But when it's you from top to bottom, like I played all that music, I was all my singing and performing and mixing, and then the video was all me, and I directed it, and I did everything except for edited it, really. And you sort of you feel really vulnerable.
Yeah.
It was a really vulnerable thing to do, but I was like, I'm kicking myself into high gear. I was like, fuck you, man. Maybe I do this once, maybe I just do this once. I put out a song and a video, and I do it like the best way I can.
Yeah.
And then I did that, and I don't know, it took me that long to get to that place where I was like, I can do that. But now I can't wait to do more.
Yeah.
I've actually been talking to a couple other people about directing their music videos, like Aesop Rock. Do you know the rapper Aesop Rock?
Yes, I do.
Yeah. He's a buddy of mine. He wants me to direct one of his videos coming up, and yeah, I've got some interest from this. People are like, oh shit.
And so you should, because it's bloody good. I want to hear more. It's funny that you say that, like back in the day I was doing more music, and then there's just a giant gap until now. But I tell you this, like when I was in bands, I've stood in front of stages of thousands of people doing the job that I do, and I don't have a problem with that. I mean, I get nervous, but I don't care. It's a job. But when the thought of holding a guitar in front of people, and standing on a stage, I used to stand in front of the amp and face the amp because I was so scared.
Yeah.
And nervous.
Yeah.
And I even now, like, I want to be in a band real bad, but like at the same time, like, could I do it? Could I play a live show though? Talking is fine. I can talk all day long. But no, I don't know. Something really exposing about it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, and like, I haven't even broached the subject of doing any of this live. I have a therapist who was like also my life coach, and he was like, what would you like to do? And I said, well, I think eventually I would love to, like, if I had to come up with a life project, I was like, I would love to play some of my songs live. And he was like, well, how do you do that? And I was like, I don't know. I have no idea how to do it. Like, it's all digital music production, so I'd have to like put a set together. But like a lot of artists do that, like Washed Out. Like there's a lot of people who really do that. They get up there and they play this very full sound, but it's just them. So I could do it, but I'm not.
You should try. You should absolutely try. I've got some ideas I'll email you about later. Actually, I've got a few.
Do it. And I want to. I really want to. Like, I think I'm gonna really. I think when I get back to New York for the beginning of season 5, I'm gonna pick a couple open mic spots around town, and I'm just gonna get up there and do it.
Oh yeah, when are you in New York? I think I might be there early October or something.
All right, man. Hey, hit me up.
Yeah.
Let's go play a show together. Yeah.
Oh shit, no! Like, too much. It's my birthday in October, and I think I might be doing New York Comic Con, maybe. So like,
oh nice.
That may be quite a good thing to do. Like, it would be nice. But yeah, like we talked, the guys that are watching along last night. Tyler mentioned a band to me because we were talking about bands that we loved, and I mentioned Fugazi and stuff, and then Tyler went, oh, blah, 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 Mr. Bungle. And immediately I was like, I like you. It's like, yes.
Bungle, man. And anything Mike Patton touches.
Oh, but for me, I love Mr. Bungle, but I love Tomahawk. Like, I really love Tomahawk.
Yeah, man. Did you ever get into like Fantomas?
Yes. Yeah, I used to work for the late Southern Records, which distributed all of that stuff. So all those records for free. I was very lucky. I used to go around the warehouse and just like pick vinyl. Amazing. So I've got like a lot. Be
like
of
me at a candy shop.
Yeah, every time, like every Friday, I'd like go and pick some vinyl and take it home, kind of thing. Like it was amazing. One day, man. I might take some pictures and send them to you. See how you feel about that.
Yeah, please do. Just tease me a little bit with all that.
Tease you. I'm a vinyl tease. I'm sorry. I'm a big vinyl tease.
I have a ton of vinyl. We may have to collaborate on some. I have a record club. I may have to get you the information for that.
Oh yeah, can we? Yeah. Okay, well, email me, and tell me what other. When you were growing up, what were the bands then that absolutely got you straight into your love of music? What kind of bands?
Oh man, I had a funny sort of early experience with music. My mom loved music. My mom was like a music fanatic. My dad could give a shit less. Doesn't even know if music is on. Could ask him what his favorite band is. He's just like, I don't know. It's like he doesn't even know that music exists. Somewhere along the way, my dad was like, someone mentioned music to him and he was like, yeah, pass. And then that was it. So I heard like the Beatles and Barbra Streisand and you know, John Denver and Gordon Lightfoot and all these like sort of folky, not the Beatles obviously, but it was really like not. My mom loved musicals and stuff. So I don't know. I had this very sort of vanilla milquetoast introduction to music as a kid growing up. And then when I was like 13, I found in this dusty old box of records, I found Led Zeppelin 3.
All right.
I had never even heard of Led Zeppelin. And there was a Steppenwolf album in there too, Magic Carpet Ride.
Steppenwolf.
And I remember,
yes.
And I put on Led Zeppelin 3 on this like old wooden hi-fi like record player / like TV console, you know, one of those old ones, which I now have a refurbished one of. I love them so much. And I put on Led Zeppelin 3 and it just like did my head in. I couldn't fucking believe that I'd never heard it before. I just lost my mind. And then I put on Steppenwolf Magic Carpet Ride and I lost my mind to that shit. And then I decided I was going to do acid the next weekend. 13 years old and listened to these records and I did it. And it just, I don't know, man, something happened. My brain, the switch in my brain flipped. And then from that point forward, it was like, I had to find music that made me feel like that, like elated, totally challenged. I love being challenged by music.
Same.
So like the first record I ever bought was like Fear of a Black Planet. By Public Enemy at like 13. Or walking into the record store and the guy was like, I'm not supposed to sell you this. And I was like, okay. And he was like, I'm gonna sell it to you anyway. And he like passed it to me. And it was like he was handing me like the Holy Grail. I was like, okay, I will take this and learn from this. Yeah. I was in Toronto. I grew up in Toronto, and so I had a weird relationship there too, because in Toronto everything was like shitty house music in the 80s. Like really bad house music. And then I moved to Vancouver, British Columbia, and everything was punk rock and hip hop. And a buddy of mine was like, you ever heard of Tribe Called Quest? And I was like, are they rap? And he was like, are they rap? And I was like, yeah, I've never heard of them. And that's when I heard Low End Theory for the first time when I was 13. And then I was like, oh, I love rap. And then I became like obsessed with hip hop, and I still am. A lot of people are surprised when they hear I have encyclopedic hip hop knowledge, you know.
Amazing.
And then, but then I had punk. There's a lot of punk rock in there for me too. Like I was really into Bad Religion and Circle Jerks, and you know, of SNFU and Spark Marker and Face Puller and all these bands that I was like really into. It just sort of all melded into Mr. Bungle for me. Well, it all culminated with Mr. Bungle. I was like, this is everything.
But Mike
and I love. Yeah, so and I love like prog rock. I love old like Yes records and stuff, you know, and ELO and Jello everything Jello Biafra did with like Lard and Alternative Tentacles, you know, No Means No, all these bands that are just like yeah, they just captured my imagination. So
Yeah, man. My mom loved Yes. That was my mom's favorite band. She just loved
Yes is
Yes.
fantastic. What a fantastic band.
She loved Yes. But do you still find music now that makes you feel that same excitement? Because I find as we get older, I don't want to be a fuddy duddy and be like, no, new music's rubbish. Because I still hear new bands that excite me, but it's just less now. Do you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah, yeah. I remember you're right. There's a period in your life when it's like everything's hitting you in a certain way,
Yeah,
you
like
know,
because
where
your
you're just
brain is young and it's smooth
yeah,
and young. You're just like everything.
yeah, yeah, smooth, wrinkle-free brain, you know,
Yeah.
just able to handle all the drugs.
Yeah.
And I was I was thinking the same thing recently because I really do go out of my way to find new bands to listen to as much as I can. But I'm slowing down these days. I'm just like, I don't know. I find myself listening to a lot of like really older stuff that I can just like constantly put on and be like, yeah, that's still doing it for me. But that thing, that part of your brain that lights up when you find something new, that's a real chemical reaction in my brain that I'm addicted to. So I need to find that. I have a few things recently that have kind of really lit me up, but it's less and less. And I
Mm,
am starting to lean on the classics, you know.
yeah.
Nostalgia is very close to that feeling, that nostalgic feeling. Like the secondhand version of that feeling is still pretty good.
That's what I always think is like the danger because I love nostalgia. I think that's why I love 80s stuff and I love the 90s and rock,
Yeah,
90s rock metal and that kind of thing. But like there are I'm going to send you a bunch of bands that you might
nice.
like or not like, but like it does, and a lot of Canadian bands. I really like a lot of Canadian bands, really small bands. But I try not to get caught in the nostalgia trap because I know that's just a drug of some sort. Do you know what I mean? Where you're like, oh,
Yeah,
I remember when I was 21 and everything was good. Do you know what I mean? It's like that.
yeah, and I never want to be that guy. I've always been like, don't be that guy who just like has your like CD book in your car, you know, from like 1999. You're like, that's it. This is where I stay, man.
Yeah,
Um,
exactly. With
I love how easy it is to find new music. You know, I think it's such a gift of this digital age. Is like I know there's a lot of bad things about it, but being able to have anything you want and like just following rabbit holes on Spotify and like
I
it's like
know.
that's joyful for me.
I know, same
Um,
here.
yeah,
I love letting a playlist run on, and then you're like, "Oh, what's this? What's this?"
yeah, yeah.
This I was.
I have to ask you a question though.
Oh shit. Okay, no, the guest
Yeah,
never asked me a
switching
question.
gears
Oh,
here. Yeah,
I know I'm scared now. This is I don't like it.
turning the spotlight on Claire Lim.
Oh no.
Um,
Okay.
what Canadian bands? You got to give it to me, man. I need to hear your Canadian music knowledge.
Okay, I really like a band called Woolworm. Have you heard of them before?
No, Little Worm?
Woolworm, like wool, WOOL. Woolworm.
No, no.
So they're kind of very Smashing Pumpkinsy.
Oh,
They're
nice.
really, I mean, they're from about 5 6 years ago. They were really great, and I worked with a band called Strange Primitives. And they're kind of like sort of 80s indie. I quite
I've
like.
heard that. I've heard that them before. Yeah.
Strange Primitives are really good as well. There's a whole bunch of the small ones that we worked with and sort of like underground because I came from a DIY scene. So like in London, we put on gigs and stuff like that, and I'm all about that DIY ethic. So I think that stays with you, you know, as you get older.
Yeah.
I still feel it. I'm like, yeah, man, support the small people. You know, f the
You have
man,
to.
like
And really, honestly, every Canadian band is small. there's no
yeah.
big. There's no big Canadian bands really.
I was gonna say like
Um,
we have Scotland and Canada have that in common, but there's so many big Scottish bands. There's so many really huge Scottish bands
yeah.
that
Well,
got.
like, name a big Canadian band.
Oh well, he's not big, but Drake's Canadian, right? like
Yeah, Drake is the biggest Canadian art. Like him and Celine Dion, and The
Justin
Weeknd is
Bieber
Canadian.
is
But
Canadian,
but
right?
yeah, but like
I
a
know.
band that's like
Shit. Arcade Fire. I went to their restaurant once in
they're
Montreal.
not Canadian though. They're mostly Canadian, but they're
Okay.
not really a Canadian band.
Okay.
Tragically Hip. Do you know the Tragically Hip?
I have heard of the Tragically Hip. I've not
Yeah,
listened to their music though. All right. Okay.
they're
Okay.
like sewn into the fabric of my nation. But everybody in Canada, like any Canadian you ask about Tragically Hip, will be like, "Oh my god, they're my favorite. They mean so much to me." But nobody else in the world gives a shit about them. Uh, that's the only big Canadian band that I can think of that you might have heard of. That's like a big band, like an outfit. But man,
You're gonna
it's
have
slim
to
pickings.
send me a list of Canadian bands that I need to listen
I
to.
will. I will.
And I'll send you a
I don't love them
list.
all.
I'll send you a list of Scottish bands that you've not heard of
Right.
that you should listen to. We'll do like it'll be like international pen pals, just like but via email and music. It'll be like
And digitally, there will be no pens.
there'll be no pens, like just
So
wanky pen
yeah,
pals. Like
yeah,
that's
I'm into it. I'm in.
I'm into it. I'm into it. It's good. I'm gonna let you go and deal with your COVID now
Thank you.
because
Yeah.
you poor man, you're suffering. So you need to
Oh,
go.
I feel like bums.
You don't look it and you don't sound it. You've been absolutely amazing. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
And
I'm gonna go collapse now.
go and collapse and do your thing. And I'll be there in September. So maybe I'll treat you to a lunch. It would be lovely to see you.
Yeah, let me know when you're around. I'm heading back to New York in early July, so I'll be there. If you're in New York, let me know. But I'm also back and forth all the time, so.
Great. We will definitely speak. Everybody, please say goodbye to Tyler. And Tyler, I will see you again soon. Take care. Bye-bye.
Okay. You too.
Bye.
Bye.